All right, so I'm going to move forward and detail this mouth guard or neck guard. So I'm going to give it the same treatment. I'm going to do an extrusion, grab my Z remodeler, activate extrusion, face, all polygons, and just extrude it, give it some good thickness. That looks good. And then I'm going to crease by polygroups. Actually, no, I won't crease by polygroups because I don't want it to impact this polygroup. The point of this polygroup was just to show me where I'm going to put that large panel, or just to gauge the region. I might have to redo this polygroup after subdividing, but I will isolate this internal part here and crease this. So I will crease just so it holds its form. I'll do my beveling myself, so I'm going to get a really sharp edge just so I get these really thick, cartoon-like, over-exaggerated edges, really chunky style, as I mentioned before. And I'm going to divide. Yeah, so it's going to hold its form, and it'll be my responsibility to do some bit of beveling. So I'll give it about 4 subdivision levels just to get started with. And what I'm trying to do here, before I actually head in that direction, let me pull it out a bit because it's looking a bit snug now. I'm going to activate and reactivate this the wireframe just so it draws over the new edges it has added. And I think I'm going to bring this up just a little bit where I want that panel to be. So if I select this and shrink my selection and then go, actually there might be an easier way to do this. Let me solo. I'm actually just going to isolate this and grow the selection. And that should give me this top here, and I can group visible and hit it again so I get a good color. All right, so then I'll treat this area as my top panel. But what I wanted to talk about is how I'm going to sculpt this to prepare for if the hoodie comes down, because I realized that with this piece, it receives a majority of its creasing when the hood is down. So if I take a look at my reference here, you'll notice that over here, when the hood is down, then you start to see where the crease lines are going to be, right? It's what is going to be responsible for creasing it for the most part. When it's up, there isn't that much behavior to warrant a lot of creasing. You end up with this really creaseless result, this really flat result. But this sort of edge of the hood here is going to determine where those creases are going to really cut in. So I'm just going to put something in there that will look good when the hood is down. All right, so it won't hurt to maybe just try to simulate what it might look like if this hood came down. I'm going to grab this, duplicate it, and just create a pose that is going to simulate. Blur the mask. Do some rotation. So maybe from around here, just maybe move this back a bit. Simulate some kind of a turn on symmetry for this. This is not real sculpting, just something like this, right? Just to help me figure out where those crease lines will work the best. This is again a worthless mesh. It's not. I'm just trying to get an idea of what I want to be doing. I'm going to come back to this neck guard, and I want to start by putting in some large primary detail. I'm going to turn off symmetry. I definitely don't want symmetry on for this. Actually, let me use my build-up brush. Okay, that's not enough to pull out any information. Okay, looks like I always have to check this. When you turn on double, it won't let you know when your faces are reversed. On the highest subdivision level, flip. All right, I should have flipped before doing this subdivision. I've lost all my beveling. at the lower subdivision level, and I don't want that, so I'm going to delete this. Repeat my extrusion and make sure to flip now. Okay, before I start subdividing. And then I will isolate this lip. Make sure to turn on double now that I'm fine. Crease. Okay. And now dividing it should produce what I want. So about 4 subdivisions. Now I'll come down here and do this again. Just grow the selection and group visible. Okay, so I was saying I want these and turn on backface masking. I'm going to start with turn off symmetry. Make sure dynamic is off. Start with some large shapes. Maybe I should do this on sub D3. And as always, when you push, you have to pull. I'm going to use my Damien standard to pull. Okay, so now it looks like I'm getting some creasing that I like. Use my Damien standard to cut in here. Make sure I explicitly specify what this shape is going to be. All right, and I'll try to put in some more interesting shapes like that. This very cloth-like shapes that respect some kind of cloth logic. Try not to go too far into where the paneling is going to be, but these do have to make sense. This is a lot of freestyle sketching of cloth. As always, it's good to look at reference, so if you don't like the results you're getting, just always go take a peek at some reference. I get a little overconfident sometimes and start trying to do my own thing. All right, let me take a look at this and see how it looks like with the final piece. Yeah, it's not bad. I have one good one that's going to be mostly visible. So I'll let it eat into the top well.